So if we are supposed to love like Christ, then that must mean that the people we claim to love must be able to come to us flawed, broken, and not okay. And we are supposed to love them even at that state, because if we truly understand love the way God does or the way God expresses it, is that even when we were sinners, Bible literally says that even when we were sinners, God loved us. He didn't wait for us to change first. He loved us in that moment when we still are flawed and broken and imperfect beings. We have a lot of shortcomings. We fail a lot before Him, but He still loves us. He loves us in that very state. So if we are supposed to be like God, to love like God, then I guess we are supposed to express it in the same way, in the same way He does. So if people always have to pretend to be okay around you, then maybe you're not loving them the way you are supposed to. People you claim to love, be it family members, friends, romantic partners. If you claim to love that person, they're supposed to be okay with not being okay around you. There's this lyric from Maverick City. I think the song is "It's Okay." Yeah, the song is "It's Okay." So the lyric says that love makes room for you to say you're not okay, which I think is so awesome and it's so true. It's so true. I almost say profound. It's not profound. It's as simple as that, and I believe it's true. It's only profound to us because culture, society has taught us to love selfishly. We are taught to love ourselves first, to avoid toxic people, to cut people off, to, have standards of the kind of people we want to love. She must be like this, he must be like that, he must like that, she must not like that. She must speak like this, he must speak like this, she must look like that, he must own that. We have all these standards, not only of appearance but of character, of a lot of things. And it is good to have standards, it is good to have boundaries. You don't always have to have toxic people around you, but you won't have perfect people around you. You always have flawed people around you. People are trying to get better, so it doesn't help them not being able to be part of a community, or to be part of not only a community but to have companionship, just because they're still working on some stuff. Yeah, we all are flawed. We all are flawed, but that's not even the point of this. The point of this is that when we love, we need to consider how we do it, and we need to consider why we do it. We need to think seriously about love. I think we don't usually think seriously about it because we associate love with just emotion and feelings, which is part of it. That is part of it, but it's not the only part of love. That's like limiting what it actually is. We need to actually think about love. We need to actually consider why we love the people we say we love, or if we really do love them. I ask myself this question a lot. Whenever I say I love someone, I ask myself a lot of times that, do I really love them? Especially the people I say that I love, because love sometimes doesn't need to be said. We know that, especially love from parents, love from family, it usually doesn't need to be said. It's just, you just know it's there. But sometimes it does have to be said, and when you do say it, you need to assess, do you really love people? Examine whether you really love the people you claim to love, you know. So it's not as simple as I love you. You need to know that you actually love the person you say you love, and you can never really assure people that you love them unless you yourself are sure that you love them. I don't know if that makes sense, but in simple terms, I'll say you need to. I'm trying to explain this in a way that doesn't sound weird. You need to know that you love them before they can know that you love them. You know, there's no way you can convince someone that you love them unless you have convinced yourself that you love that person. You need to know that you love them before you can really make that claim and act on love. And that's the other thing. It's an act. It's like faith. You know, faith without works is dead. Love without expression is not really there. Love in its nature is expression. So we know that God is love and God is alive. And if God is alive, then love is alive. If God is expressive and expresses himself in so many ways, God creates. We know this is how God expresses himself, or one of the many ways that he expresses himself. He creates, you know, he makes things come to life, you know. So that's love. Love does something. Love has action to it. It creates, you know, whether it be a safe space, it creates, you know, like I said, a safe space for the other person to not be okay. It creates comfort. It creates change as well. It also creates change. It also creates encouragement and that strength for that person to change and to get better, you know. It doesn't mean that if you have to accept the flaws, they have to stay. We are all getting better, as I said, and love helps us do that. Love, instead of pushing people away that have flaws that we don't have, or that have features or characteristics that we don't desire, love, instead of pushing them away and cutting them off, actually embraces them at their worst and then helps them or encourages them to do better. And isn't that just God in our lives? You know, he loves us as we are, but he doesn't leave us as we are. He encourages us to grow, to get better. He prunes us, he teaches us, he disciplines us, he loves us into being better people. So I think that's how we need to approach love as well. Love each other into being better people. And be okay with not being okay around the people who love us.